everyone, Professor Thompson once again. Today is the 23rd of March, and this video is going to focus on video submission process and the information you need to know for your first presentation. The first thing that I want to let you know is that the due date for each of your presentations is clearly marked in the syllabus and coincides with the end of each of the major units in the course. So you have 3 units and you have 3 presentations. The due dates for those are March 28th, April 11th, and May 9th. So those are the days that each of your speeches are due in addition to all the materials in those unit folders. Those are not flexible. Those are carved in stone. So make sure that you have those in your calendar if you're completing this course. No extensions will be granted. I think another important factor to remark with regard to that is I mentioned those due dates on page 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 10 of your course syllabus. So there's no excuses that you can't find those due dates. They are also clearly labeled on the course calendar. Additionally, I have specific speech criteria information listed on page 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11 of the syllabus. And those speech criteria mention the state of Illinois guidelines for video submission. So I will talk about that in this video as well. But there should be no question what those criteria are, and that should not be confusing, and it should not be a reason why you are not successful in this course. So I don't want any excuses when it comes to either due dates or any excuses when it comes to what the state of Illinois requirements were with your videos. Clearly labeled, clearly stated. Okay, so let's first talk a little bit about the speech. It's an informative presentation. You get to choose the topic, whatever you want. It's roughly 5 minutes. Tons of information is listed in the requirement sheet that's posted online. There are 2 documents that are also posted in the folder. One is a rubric, which gives you exactly how I'm grading the presentation. I highly recommend looking at that. The second one is a oral source citation worksheet / guideline helper sheet. You want to read that, because if you are not orally citing your sources correctly in your presentation, you'll lose a chunk of points for the presentation. So you're going to want to make sure that you are incorporating those oral citations correctly in this speech. The worksheet is very helpful and breaks down what a website should look like, what a handout should look like, what a book would look like, what a magazine article would sound like. I mean, this is stuff that a second grader would understand and be able to follow, so there's no reason why all of you as college students should not be successful when you do this in your presentation. Remember that these are orally cited within your presentation, and this is information that you're using to support your speech. One of the biggest downfalls that I've seen in past semesters with students is that they are not applying what they've read in chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12, all of which are a part of Unit 1, and they don't apply that information into their first speech. So if you don't have an attention-getting strategy, if you don't have transitions, if you don't have preview statements, summary statements, all of which are talked about in Chapter 10, transitions specifically as well, Chapter 10, Table 10.2, if you don't have these things, don't expect a good grade on your first presentation. I really am looking to see that you read the material, you not only did those modules, you took those quizzes, but you can apply that. Your ignorance is never an excuse when it comes to this. And so make sure you are transitioning that material into the actual work that you're submitting back to me. Okay? So that should be really clear. I don't care what your topic is, any wide range, but make sure that it's informative. Another downfall, second downfall from a lot of students is that they come in and they try and persuade us for something. So make sure that you are not persuading anything. You are informing us of new information on a topic of your choice. Okay, so The next order of business that I want to mention has to do with the state standards as to the presentations. If you are going to be submitting a video, there are certain things that you need to be aware of, and I mentioned this earlier. And because this is an online course, I would expect that most of you would be submitting a video as you made the choice to take an online class. But these are state of Illinois requirements. These are not Steve Thompson requirements. These are not College of DuPage requirements. These are state of Illinois requirements. I feel like I've articulated this the most clearly on page 4 and 5 of your syllabus. So to cover those things, you must record your presentation in a venue outside of your household. It can't be in your house. Do not do this in your living room. Do not sit down in front of your webcam. Do not stand in your kitchen. Go somewhere else. Find an outdoor amphitheater, a conference room, a boardroom, a classroom at a college, at an elementary school. But it has to be some sort of public speaking venue. Second, the state requires that you have an audience of 8 individuals who are age 16 years of age or older. So you need to make sure that you are gathering your own audience. Again, that's a responsibility of you making a choice to register for an online class. So gather friends and family, 8 or more that are 16 years of age. Third, you must submit an unedited video. So you cannot start and stop your video. And I'll talk about some of that here in a second, but you need, once you start recording, that recording can't stop until the end of your presentation. So make sure that you have hit record and it goes through the introduction, it goes through the main part of your speech, through the conclusion, all the way till the very end. For College of DuPage policy and for this class, before your presentation starts, you need to show your audience. So you're going to hit record. You're going to show each of the audience members. And then you also need to show yourself after you've shown your audience. It would be very helpful to show a picture identification so I can see that it's you giving your presentation. I can match your picture to an ID. I can match your ID and your name to the name that's a part of my roster. Then as you begin your presentation, the recording should be at least from the waist up, if not your entire body, and that's mentioned on page 5. But, you know, I'll give you your preference on that, but it should be back far enough where I can see that you're making an effort to maintain good body position, body posture, balance in your stance. If you're moving, that you're moving with purpose. And if you're gesturing, I can see that as well. I don't want a video of just your face. No matter where you're recording your video from, you want to make sure that the sound quality is good and so that you are projecting your voice and you're easy to see and easy to hear. If you do not adhere to any of these requirements, and finally, the last thing is, your video must be loaded into LearnSmart. It must be loaded into the system using the online video submission tab. So over on the left-hand side of Blackboard, there's a tab that says Online Video Submission. You got to click that tab and load your video into the Blackboard and LearnSmart system. If you do not submit your videos that way, they will not be graded, you will not receive a score, and you'll receive a 0 for the presentation. Do not email me your presentation, okay? Additionally, if you edit your video, it's an automatic 0. If you don't have 8 audience members, automatic 0. If you record it in a venue that is in your house, automatic 0. That's all stated clearly in the syllabus. No question, it is what it is, 0. So you want to make sure that you adhere to those criteria and those requirements to gain a score for the presentation. So that's kind of the basic gist of recording your presentation. I highly recommend that if you are recording your speech, you do it in advance of the due date. I recommend that you try and upload your video in advance of the deadline, which is 11:30 p.m. on each of those due dates. If you run into technical difficulties and are experiencing problems uploading your video, that's on you. It's not on me. And so if you experience some technical difficulties, I want you to be able to troubleshoot those in advance of the deadline. Okay? I don't want it to be 11 o'clock at night and you're frantically emailing me with your concerns about how your video won't process. Take care of your business early. Be responsible. Manage your time well. I firmly believe in those qualities. So take care of your business. If you are choosing to come to class to present your presentations, and some of you have already let me know that you are, you have to stay for the entire course from 6 to 9 p.m. till all the presentations are done, till any announcements are done. You cannot just come and give your speech and then leave. Any early leavers, any people that choose to leave early, it's a 20-point deduction on your overall speech grade. So you don't want to leave early. It becomes your responsibility to stay the whole time. If you can't stay the whole time, if you have a conflict of schedule, submit a video. That's why this is an online course. You have the flexibility to still complete your coursework. All right? If you have questions or concerns, you can feel free to email me. But everything has been spelled out very clearly in the syllabus, and the expectations are very clear. Good luck to all of you.